Yeah, so first tell me, you guys are pretty much, I mean, almost brand spanking new, about a year now. Tell me how you guys all came together and how you all kind of decided to go on this adventure together.
Who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
No nose goes.
Don't look so fired up, Dave.
Yeah, no, I'm just really super relaxed right now, so it's all good.
Okay.
I don't see Jeff. Where's Jeff?
You don't see Jeff?
Oh, he is. You're on a separate page, dude. How's that happen?
I don't know. I think maybe I don't show up until I talk or something. That's how the Guardian works.
That's it.
That's like obviously a really big thing because that's already been mentioned like 5 times in 2 minutes. Do you want to start with that story?
Hunter, tell the
All
story
right.
of the Guardian.
I'm so grateful that I get to be the one to tell it because it truly is
You would be.
a complete random happening that went down. So on December 30th, when we were doing load in for our show at the Knitting Factory, a very strange person approaches the group, because we're moving gear out of a trailer into the building. And I mean, he was obviously on drugs or something, but he like pulls Tyler aside and he's like, "Oh, that guy there, he's the Guardian. He's you protect him." And it was
no, he's like that guy. He's like, that man there with the white hair is more powerful than you know.
Like, little did he know he was right, because as we all
totally
know,
right.
Jeffrey has in a million bands and has been throughout your whole career.
Mm-hmm. Yep. More powerful than we all know.
He saw like your aura must have been really highlighted.
Apparently. My gray
Tyler,
hair
didn't he come
flowing.
back to you?
No, he came back to Jeff. He came back and told Jeff the same thing he told me.
Oh, he was courageous enough to come up to the Guardian and talk to him himself.
Yeah, he must have been pretty powerful also.
Oh, well, he was having a good night then.
The nomad wizard.
He makes you strong. A nomad wizard.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, how are you?
So talking to you.
Kind of confusing with so many people, huh?
Like, Dad, your TV show's lame.
I'm going back to what is some game where you shave people's hair off. It's supposed to be a beauty game, but she's forced, so she just takes a clipper to everyone's head. It's hilarious.
Oh, be careful in this group. We got lots of pretty locks in this group. We don't want any shaving going on here.
Agreed.
You guys like probably braid each other's hair, right? With all your really, really pretty long hair.
Yeah, that's why we suck. We just, instead of practicing, we just braid each other's hair the whole time.
Giving away our secrets.
So, Dave, were you the one who decided? I feel like, if I remember correctly, you were the one who started this whole thing up.
Yeah, well, Tyler and I were both in Unto Extinction for 5 shows, and then that disbanded. And so we decided to strike forward and see what happened. And we were lucky that Jeff hit me up, and we were fortunate enough that he likes the music enough to stick around. So we feel fortunate in that regard. And then Hunter came along by recommendation of Gabe Hodges. You probably know who he is. Mm-hmm. And so the pieces just kind of fell together. That's where we're at.
That's awesome.
The chemistry is good.
And yeah, now we're all in love.
Well, that's really important because bands are like marriages. So how do you keep the love alive throughout the next upcoming years is the question.
Yeah.
As long as we stay laughing, we're good.
Yeah, it's important.
It's a little early for that question. Yeah, we're still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
It takes some time for for all that to rear its ugly head.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I'll ask you down the years then how you're able to work through the hard times since you guys are still in that honeymoon phase.
The gel period.
So you guys, from what I remember, have done some recording. Are you doing just a single recording or an EP, or are you doing a full-length album, or what are you working on?
We're in the middle of discussing that right now. We have one song we're pushing forward, but according to the money invested, we might want to do two songs instead of one. And we haven't really discussed that thoroughly as to which other song we might want to include.
Who are you recording through, or have you picked a place yet?
That is also in the air.
Okay.
So, yeah, we have a couple of actually we're hoping that Pete Rucho, who mixed the second Seamless record, is going to mix it for us.
Nice.
Yeah, so and he definitely knows what he's doing. But anyway, yeah, like Dave says, we're so in the middle of trying to figure out how to get a recording going. And we've talked to some local people, as well as Pete Rucho, and I think we're definitely getting down to the nuts and bolts of it. We're very close to figuring out what we're going to do with it. But we're all, this is the first original thing that I've done since Mellow Bravo in Boston, and so I kind of figured I was past my days of like throwing money into recordings that never really paid a dividend. And so anyway, we're bottom line, we're trying to do it as cheaply as possible, because none of us are rich and we don't have tons of cash to throw at it. So anyway, but that's where we're at. But we're certainly pushing forward. We know we need music recorded.
Right. Where is Pete located at?
Pete Rucho?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's in Massachusetts.
So would you guys be traveling there if you chose to work with him, or would you just be sending him for him to master?
We would just email him the tracks basically,
Okay.
and I'm sure he would do a rough mix and send it back and let us hear it. And that's the amazing thing about technology these days, is that stuff is fairly easily done.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we wouldn't go anywhere. We would do anything that would cost us money.
That's right.
I get it. It's expensive, and it doesn't really pay well in return, which is so crazy to me. I mean, even with these big touring bands, they're not, especially in the metal community, aren't making a whole lot of money. And it's such a travesty, because music is so important, and is something that, saves us all through so many hard times and good times, and memory makers and everything. I don't understand why we don't treat our musicians better financially to keep it going. It worries me. The industry really makes me nervous.
Don't even think about the industry. We're just thinking about.
I have to. I work with most of the time.
Yeah, the industry's upside down. So
it is.
So,
but people are getting super, super creative with how to make money too. Of course, they have to have, the big platform first, but there's been some bands that are doing some really creative things, I think, that are hopefully starting to try to turn the tides. But it's a hard thing to try to know what's going to hit and what's not going to hit, versus just, the music like it used to be.
Well, I think we know in our type of music, nothing ever really hits. Like, I don't know. It's not like people make money off of metal. Most people just play metal because they like it.
Yeah. I forget how small of a community it is, because with us that are involved in it, it seems like such a huge group of people until you take a step back and look at the wider perspective of things, and it's just so much smaller.
Totally.
Yeah. You guys are chatty.
Well, yeah. Nobody's making money selling music.
Mm-hmm.
They're either making money by touring and selling merch, whether they're selling it online or selling it at the show. But nobody's getting paid for that song that's being played on Spotify or whatever. I mean, they are, but nothing.
Not
of
sustainable.
any significance. So, so unless you're, you know, like an A-level band, I don't know. I'm sure B-level bands are probably, you know, making a living or whatever. But
Down here in the E level, though, it's a lot different.
yeah, here in the F
Here in
level,
the F plus.
F level,
yeah, the F level.
F1.
Well, obviously, it's a, you know, it's a labor of love for us.
Yeah.
You know, for
Exactly.
me, it's just I like the act of physically getting on stage and playing music. So I mean, that's my thing. It's not so much about the writing for me as it is just jamming, just being in a room and playing with people or getting on stage. That's my that's why I do it.
Right. The payoff.
That's my payoff.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, there's
And that,
definitely. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, I mean, that's, you know, that's why I'm in so many different projects. But I mean, Boise is such a small town that if you rely on one band to go play shows, you're only going to play 2 or 3 times a year, maybe 4, depending on, you know, the shows or whatever. So
That's not enough.
it's not enough, right? Yeah. So like doing the tribute bands and all that is, you know, it's kind of easy. There's no writing to be done, and it's just fun. It's fun to go play it.
Yeah.
The Guardian's a performance junkie.
I
Is
guess
it
so.
is it difficult for you because you have done big tours? Is it difficult for you to stay in a like smaller intimate city, or do you or do you prefer that as opposed to traveling?
Well, I mean, at this point in my life, with family and the kids, like I mean, I sometimes I ponder, like, what if, you know, I got a call from some band to go tour, and honestly, I'm not sure I would do it at
Mhm.
this point, because I know, you know, my kids are young and I don't want to miss that, and they need me. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home dad, so um, so if it was some big, long, drawn-out thing, I doubt I would do it. But who's to, you know, who's to say? I'm not saying I wouldn't. But I don't. I mean, Seamless toured for such a short time that it wasn't. I mean, I did absolutely love it, and I was really bummed when the band stopped. But I'm really at this point, I'm really enjoying my life and the amount of music that I play. And sometimes I'm actually feeling like, man, I'm just in too many bands. It's too much going on, too much to keep up with. Um, but honestly, in terms of satisfaction, I've probably never been more satisfied in terms of my playing ability and the people that I play with and the enjoyment that I get out of it. I mean, back in the day, it was I think we, or at least I, took it too seriously. You know, I hung too much of my life on the fact that, or the non-fact that this band might or might not make it per se, and so it's been nice, honestly, to kind of let that go and not worry about it and just enjoy the fact that I still get to play music.
Right.
Yeah,
That makes
basic.
sense. That makes sense. And Hunter, you're the new guy. How is it feeling having these experiences for the first time?
It's pretty cool because I'm making up for lost time. You know, I joined the military right out of high school. Did that for, you know, over 7 years. Started building my life up. Fell in love with somebody that lives here. Moved from Austin, Texas, to Boise, and got a cute kid out of the deal. But I also fell in love with Idaho. I absolutely love living here. It was a good transition from Texas to come here. And whenever I separated from my ex, I was like, man, I don't know why I didn't start playing music again like I used to in high school. And I got with the guys that are now in Become the Apex. And that was super cool to jam with those dudes. And they're all very close friends of mine to this day. And that's also how I met Gabe. And Patrick Richardson was the one who told Gabe, hey, if these guys are looking for a bass player, fucking call Hunter. And it was a good vibe from day one.
So when did you join in?
You asking me?
Gosh. Yeah,
Uh,
I think actually it might have been June or July
Oh, okay.
of 22.
Okay.
It
So
might have
pretty
been that.
early
It was
on.
sometime. It definitely wasn't before mid-February because I was still in a different band during that time.
Was it, I mean, Austin, Texas is a huge music city. Has that been a difficult transition as far as the musical part of it?
No, um, I wouldn't say that. I mean, Austin is big in every genre. But I do notice that the community is a lot more tightly knit here, at least in the metal scene. Um, of course, I can't speak for every type of genre in Austin because I didn't play in every scene, but I do notice the metal scene here is very tight. Most people are very pro other people. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna see another band giving props before you hear them talking shit.
definitely.
Like 10 times out of 10, the other metal bands are gonna be like, dude, that was sick, versus bringing people down. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, that is something really special about the Boise metal community. I agree. A lot of support.
Mhm.
Yeah. If I didn't have so much dang anxiety, I'd be at all the shows. But there's people there. That's
Yeah,
the problem with
and
me.
the better the show, the more people are there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I would love to see these guys, except it's gonna be elbow to elbow the whole night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how much that changes or has changed, at least for me. And I assume for a lot of people, the older you get, like before it was no big deal to be around a whole room full of sweaty, smelly people that are running over each other. But now I'm like, oh man, too much. I have to rest for a week after that. So do you guys ever jam out to music together outside of what you're playing? Or is it all like business when you guys get together?
Business, I guess. Go right at it. Let's get to work on the songs.
Yeah.
Do.
and we hang out and bullshit a lot though too. Like it's not just we don't show up like it's a job, Like I think for me personally, the biggest thing I take away from it is just having fun and laughing because that's I don't know, it's just who I am. Like the laugh and joke. I'm never serious, and like I think we bullshit about as much as we play.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think that the chemistry is pretty good so far. I think it's been very enjoyable, at least from my end, in terms of. But it's a nice balance of, like you say, joking around, having a good time, and just getting down to business, and so it's been pretty easy, honestly. I think it's been good so far.
We're like five kids that have a fort we go to and hang out and then try to dominate the world from inside while having a good time.
Five? Who's the fifth kid?
Oh, I mean, I'm looking at five faces. I went straight to five.
Hey, did I just get recruited?
Oh,
I'm not that good of a guitar player. It's really
I
funny.
do want to comment on David's fort comment. We are definitely stoked that we got this new jam space.
Yeah, dude.
And dude, huge thank you to Mrs. Ford for dude, Kat totally had our backs and got that place looking sharp, and of course David too.
Yeah.
But it's a game changer, man. It like makes you want to go to practice. It makes you want to practice at home so that the rehearsal is good when the band's there. And we only get Jeff once a week on most cases. So the jams we have when everyone's in attendance is just like twice as good as it was before. So that's a big deal.
That's awesome. So where are you guys practicing at? I saw the paint job, but I don't know if I know where it's at.
Latah,
Oh, okay.
near the cemetery.
Okay. Is it just like its own space then, like its own building? You guys got away from the bomb shelters?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we haven't been there in a long time. But the place on Latah is just a small old office building.
Nice.
It's got like 10 rooms, I think, or 8 or 10 rooms.
Do other bands practice in there too, or is it just you guys?
Yeah, it's full house.
Well, that's where your husband practices.
Oh, isn't that one of the
Yeah,
seltzers?
Karen Comes Killing is right next door to us. What's that band? Ingrown, I think, is downstairs. And I guess
Futurist.
I know of. Yeah, Chris is definitely in there.
Where your husband practices.
That's funny. I've been there. I guess it is off of Latah, but I was thinking, I was thinking that was like another type of bomb shelter, but I guess maybe not.
It's called Bomb Shelter 2, I think.
That's probably why, just because it's another place where a lot of bands are practicing. Obviously, it's not a bomb shelter.
No,
And
definitely
the
not.
bathrooms are horrific, just like at the bomb
Ours
shelter.
is nice.
Is it? Well, you need to friggin' talk to those suturist dudes then and get their act together.
It's my wife that put it all together really nice.
Did she? Yeah, she's so awesome.
No, we just have to keep it that way.
Well, yeah, well, you better, or else she's probably not going to be happy. Your multi-talented wife that can do everything, I swear.
I don't know.
I'm not so nice of a wife, I guess, to go and do that. It's too gross. I'm like, you guys figure it out yourself and for yourselves.
She was just challenged by the transformation. She liked the end result.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a mess. There's no doubt.
12 years of non-cleaning.
Fucking scene ever.
Who was in there before you guys? Do you know?
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Are you in the upstairs or one of the downstairs?
Upstairs.
Upstairs. Cool. Yeah, I've been there, I think, like twice. I haven't gone there a whole lot. I used to go to practices when he was with Rise a lot more, but yeah, just am not as adventurous as I used to be, I guess. I don't know.
It happens with age.
It does.
Happens.
It does. And I used to, think I could say like, well, I gotta get at home, but he's gonna be 15 in a month. Like he could probably do without me being home.
Yeah, you could kick him out right now.
He'd probably be fine with that too. It's crazy. Having a teenager, I feel like it's so crazy how fast life goes. You feel like you just were 20 last year, For me, maybe not for you guys.
Oh, are you saying we're old?
No, I'm saying you guys are 20 and I remember being that age. How is it still being that age? So if you could explain your style of music to somebody else, how would you explain it? Since there's a million different genres of metal anymore, how would you guys explain what you guys are doing?
In my mind, it's thrash and groove, kind of, it's foundation of thrash, and then I don't know, can't put a pin on it.
Yeah, it's pretty groove ridden, I would say.
Yeah, slightly doomy at times, but I don't know. I don't really get all this genre talk when it comes to bands. So, but it's definitely there's obvious thrash influences, which I love mostly. So it's good stuff. Dave's a massive riff writer.
Yeah, I like riffs. Caveman. Caveman at heart.
Yeah.
Well, you've been doing it for a long time. What do you do when you get with any of you guys, what do you do when you get like writer's block? How do you re-motivate or get like creative when you're stuck?
Usually just got to be patient and wait. Just keep jamming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess Dave's like the only one that even applies to. He does like everything. Everyone
they all have their stamp on the song.
Yeah. I think the rest of us just kind of fill in the gaps, but Dave writes it, pretty much all of it. So kudos to Dave, because he does write a lot of cool shit.
Yep, definitely. The new song is going to be dope as fuck.
Yep.
An evolution for sure.
Sure, Dave does what Dave does, and I mean, I'm super impressed by it.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jeff. That means a lot.
No, I'm serious, dude. Like, I don't know how you come up with that stuff, and especially the technicality of it.
Just gotta
At
be
least
chill
for,
all the
you
time.
know, for me, I've never played anything as technical for sure, and it's pretty impressive.
Thanks, man. I just want it to be fun and groovy.
McGroover.
McGroover.
Keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Did you say McGroover?
McGroover.
That's pretty funny.
That's the new genre, McGroove core.
McGroove.
Cattle core. Throw some pentatonic riffs in there, and we'll get the Texans to join us.
Well, the pentatonic riffs are in there. They're just happening so fast you can't tell.
Right.
Micro pentatonic.
Yeah.
What about across the board? You guys can just take turns. Who are some of your influences, or who got you excited to play your instrument?
For me, it's James Hetfield. Back when I first heard Master of Puppets in '86. That was the shit for me. But obviously, look at me. It's not hard to guess.
How about you, Tyler? I know you guys can't see where you guys are at in my screen, but I'm just gonna go down across. So you go next.
I don't know. I listen to like a lot of deathcore, and I don't know. About the oldest stuff I listen to is Pantera, and then a lot of Lamb of God influence. I think that's pretty easy to read from my drumming style. That's kind of what got me into it.
Don't forget Jim Croce.
Jim Croce.
For your drumming.
A little folk rock in there. No, I mean, I would say like for my actual drumming influence, Lamb of God was probably the biggest for me. That's where I started learning. That's where I jumped into learning how to play, was that stuff. And then anymore, I listen to a lot more like brutal stuff than that. But I don't really listen to a whole lot that sounds like our style, which is really weird. It's more death metal and deathcore is the shit I listen to, but I think that's where we get a good blend, is because we all have kind of different influences. You have like Hunter and I, and we're about the same age. And then you got Dave and Jeff, and they're old as fuck. So they listen to, the way old stuff. And then you got Hunter and myself. We're kind of more of a new age. Listen to that stuff. I think Dave's finally starting to get in. He's turning a new leaf. He's getting into some of the more some of the different stuff a little bit. So
like, what are some of the newer ones, Dave?
I've been listening to Decapitated. I really like some of that stuff. It's about as heavy as I'm really into some band called Annotations of an Autopsy, because they're super groovy. So I'm just trying to open my mind a little bit, so when I'm writing songs, I can consider everyone's flavors, and I attempt to bring everyone's style into the songs I write. I mean, and it's probably my failing in doing that perfectly that gives us our sound.
Well, then, yeah, it creates, like you said, a whole new genre, which is always welcome, in my opinion. Yeah. How about you, Jeff?
Definitely. Well, in terms of heaviness, this style of music, early Metallica, Kill 'Em All was my album. Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
That stuff is, I don't know, it's in my blood. But I'm old. I'm definitely old school guy. I love Black Sabbath, early Sabbath.
Hell yeah.
Most all of it. And I'm into like Led Zeppelin too. I mean, that's a little bit cliche for my age, but so be it. I mean,
it's a cliche for a reason, because they were the best at what they did.
They were fantastic, and
pioneers.
So yeah. So anyway, yeah, but I'm definitely just rock guy. I'm kind of a product of the 80s shred era. And I loved all that shred stuff. So yeah, but my favorite guitar players are guys like Michael Schenker and Gary Moore and John Sykes, and of course Eddie Van Halen. Just guys like that for sure. There's of course some amazing players that are happening these days, but I don't know. I'm stuck in the old school, and I hear some of that stuff and it sounds a little sterile to me, and like a lot of what's the word, exercises, I guess. A slight lack of soul, but no disrespect. I mean, they newer guys are doing some stuff that's like mind-blowing without a doubt, but those are my basics. That's my foundation.
Right.
Sabbath.
Bring all that together, and that's what we are.
Right. Yeah. What about you, Hunter? I know Tyler kind of already said that you guys are a little bit along the same lines, but what are some of yours?
So, yeah, definitely huge Pantera fan. I mean, I'm also from Texas, so it's like a whole different type of love because it's like your metal band from your area. But also I'm a huge fan of Kiss. I remember when Detroit Rock City came out and I was like in 5th or 6th grade. That was what made me say, Dad, I want to go buy a bass. Like, I want to play this kind of music. And I know that's kind of but for a kid that age, Kiss is like, it's a whole show with
They're
music.
huge for a reason too.
Yeah,
it's not,
I mean,
I wouldn't call it I mean, Kiss was definitely a form of heavier music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially for the 70s.
For the time, right?
Yeah. And I was a huge Kiss fan.
I was big into
Love old Kiss.
Overdrive. Like that was kind of some heavy groove. Even like the first Boston album with the guitar sounds, as pristine as it was with the vocals and everything else. Like to me, that sounded heavy. The way they have the guitars all distorted and just massive. So all due respect to Kiss for sure.
Big time.
Bird.
Definitely.
Tyler's like, fuck Kiss.
Yeah.
Not gonna be on your playlist, huh?
No, not for me.
Is there any band that you guys all agree on?
Cattle Decapitation. If you don't like them, you're wrong.
We haven't talked about it.
Jeff's like, nah, bro.
Thanks a lot, Nika. This is the first crack in our armor.
Yeah, thanks.
That's what I'm a counselor outside of this, but in this, I'm just trying to break bands up. It just seems like a lot of fun for me.
You're just trying to drum up some business.
Some business. Yeah. Well, I can't see any of you guys, so it'd be pretty dumb to drum up business that way. Especially you and Dave. I know you guys too well. Okay, so I have this mixtape questions here, and I'm gonna say a scenario, and you guys choose what song you would use in that scenario. So this one says, you clean out your closet only to find a box of high school memorabilia. There is a single album covered in dust, your favorite from that time. What is the song from that album? It says CD, but I know some of us grew up on vinyl. Some of us grew up on cassette tapes. Some of us grew up on CDs, and some of us grew up on the internet music. I don't even know media. I don't even know what that would be called.
I'm gonna have to say Swords and Tequila by Riot.
I don't know if I've ever heard that song.
Well, you've heard of Riot though, haven't you? Yeah. Swords and Tequila.
I'll have to check it out.
Yep. That just, as soon as you said high school, that was the first thing that popped into my brain.
I'll have to check it out.
For me, if it's an old dusty record, like not like something I maybe have forgotten about, is that what you mean?
That's just what it says. You can interpret it either as you maybe got a new copy of it and you went back to the old copy, or yeah, something you forgot about, whichever way you want to interpret it.
I guess I would think back then, Uriah Heep probably had a couple of Uriah Heep records. Are you looking for a favorite song off that record?
It just says play a song. I mean,
Oh, play
favorite
a song. I don't
obviously would
know.
be the one that you'd probably listen to the
Rainbow
most.
Demon.
A good one. I grew up on Uriah Heep too. How about you, Tyler?
I'd say probably the whole Ashes of the Wake album from Lamb of God. That was kind of what I listened to for a lot of years. So I mean, I don't know if I can really pick a song off of there because it was like that was kind of there was no skips on it, you know. I would just listen to the whole thing. So
okay, and how about you, Hunter?
Mine would probably be Sweet Sister Mary off of Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime. I've listened to that album.
Are you a little bit older than Tyler?
So I'm 35.
How old are you, Tyler?
I'm 16.
So just a little bit. Well, Queensryche kind of threw me off the
so my father's a musician
age
too.
thing there.
My father's a musician too, and he is 56 now. So a lot of my influences came from him.
Okay.
So I think that's why I get along with Jeff and David so well, because I also grew up on what they grew up with.
Yeah,
I'm a huge
that makes sense.
Queensryche fan. That album, I know for a fact I've heard that album more than any other album in my life.
Good album.
Yeah.
Did you ever see them while they were still together?
Unfortunately, no. I never got to see Queensryche live. I wish. That would have been excellent.
Incredible live.
So you have?
Yes.
Oh, jealous.
Yeah.
Jealousy.
I got to see Seamless live too back when Jeff was in it.
That's cool.
Before I knew him. That's when I met Derek Kurzweil, the drummer from them. Yeah. Let's see. I did actually end up writing down some questions for you guys. Well, I mean, I guess the main thing is, what is your guys' plan moving forward? It sounds like you guys are kind of wanting to maintain just kind of having fun and enjoying what you're doing, and not really at this point wanting to necessarily swing for the fences, because it's a tough field and it costs a lot of money to try to do that. So what's the plan moving forward?
In my mind, is get some music out there that we can share with whoever would like to listen to it, and then play some shows. As far as anything outside of a local show, I mean, I think it's feasible. We might do some weekend warrior stuff somewhere down the line, where we take a weekend and go hit the border states or something like that. And that's probably the extent of it in my mind, unless something crazy happens. But other than that, that's my agenda.
I like your agenda.
I was like, does everybody else agree with that, or am I putting another chink in the armor here?
Well, it's, I mean, I think I don't know. I get, we haven't really had this huge long discussion about what our goals are. Mm-hmm. But I think we're all fairly realistic about the industry and how it works, and especially being in a landlocked state like Boise, Idaho, and being in Boise, the larger cities are so far away. So yeah, I think I feel along the lines of what Dave said, is that it'll be a one step at a time sort of situation. I mean, what we need to do now is get some music recorded so we have some representation that way, and then yeah, go play some shows, whatever we can do. Hopefully, yeah, it'd be great to get out of town and somewhere else and play. But I mean, that's, you know, when we get to that point, then we can think ahead beyond that.
Right.
We would all love nothing more than to suddenly be able to be on tour with some big band. I mean, every band wants that.
Of course.
But you know, you can't put your head in that kind of space, and you create those kind of expectations for yourself. So yeah, like Jeff said, one step at a time, and we'll just go where the path takes us.
So maybe eventually down the line, putting together a press release package to send to labels.
You know, these days, everything's just EPKs. It's all about that. You know, they don't want to see a link; they want to see a music video.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the way I see it these days. I mean, as far as approaching a label, probably never going to do that.
Yeah, yeah, what does that even mean anymore? I mean, I don't even, a label just sounds like you're gonna get screwed. That's what it feels like to me. I mean, like I guess I should kind of take that back. Like Seamless was on Equal Vision Records, and they were very good to us to the extent that they could be. You know, they didn't have tons of money to throw at us, but they paid for the recording of the second album and promotion. So, you know, there was no tour support. So, I mean, I guess it depends on the label.
For sure.
And what, you know, what the label offers. You know, they may offer
distribution might be something. Yeah.
Yeah, but what does that even mean? Nobody's
exactly. What does that mean? Who cares
anymore? It's like, you know, sure. So anyways, who knows? I think the industry is just so, like Dave or somebody said earlier, it's so upside down that, you know, I don't know. It's just, I guess, you know, I've never made money playing music. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how to think of it that way.
Hey, we have $380.
Yeah. So
hey, you guys are in the green.
No, we're not. Not when you factor in our equipment.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, we're all like digging money out of our pockets to pay for, you know, space rent.
Space rent.
So, that's definitely, you know, one of those other situations I didn't think I'd ever be in again.
Sorry, Jeff.
I got to say, you know, the whole, I'm really glad to be here. It's a good, feels like a nice brotherhood, and yeah, we're all on the same page, and it's rock metal.
Yeah, I'm driving over right now to the band space to load up my drums and get them out of there.
Fucking Tyler. Fucking clown.
I was like, got it.
No. Tyler's definitely the confirmed least serious person in the band.
100%.
Gotta have that person. It's an important person. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, all of that is what really truly matters. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then why are you doing it, you know?
Absolutely.
So what do you guys all do for fun outside of music?
Redneck shit.
What's that?
Redneck shit. And escape rooms. We're going to the escape room right now. So
oh, fun. Which one are you going to?
I think it's which one is it? Escape This over on
Nice. I haven't seen that one yet. Have fun.
Yeah. But I like to hunt and fish and shoot guns. That's pretty much me. Music, guns, fishing, hunting. That's my life in a nutshell.
Nice.
I like to mountain bike.
I knew that about you. How about you, Dave?
Geez. I play my guitar a lot, and I write stories. And that's,
nice. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that you wrote stories. That's cool.
Specifically scripts. I'm an amateur screenwriter.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but it's creative juices
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
He
How about
did
you,
write.
Hunter?
Probably heard of. It's called Titanic.
Oh, oh no, is that a new thing?
It's song.
You
Is there music involved in that? A song
Actually, I
that
think
ever
wasn't
heard of it?
a song that we probably all wish we'd never heard before.
Wasn't it a porno script? Titanic.
Yeah,
Titanic,
Titanic.
that's it.
How about you,
Yeah,
Hunter?
if I'm not playing music, I am definitely on a two-wheeled vehicle of some kind. I am obsessed with motorcycles. I actually work at a motorcycle dealership and have been doing so for almost a decade now.
Which one do you work at?
I work at the Indian Triumph dealership in Meridian next to Harley.
Do you know Levi then? Levi Walls?
Levi Walls, that pussy. Yeah, I know
he's
him.
one of my good friends. I went to school with
Dude,
him.
no, Levi is what a great human being.
Mhm.
Like,
One
you
of
know,
the
I
best.
only call him a pussy because he calls everyone else in the world a pussy. But, honestly, like Levi Walls is one of my favorite human beings in the world. Like, he is a great man.
He really is. He's one of the best. He's one of the most giving, generous, sweet people. And he's always been that way.
Yep. I mean, you call him, he's there.
Mhm.
I mean, anytime.
Yeah. He's a real genuine human.
Yep.
Now we've been friends for a long time. Gosh, let's see, I'm 40, so we've been friends for over 20 years.
Dope.
Yeah. You're still biking, Jeff?
Yeah, I went this morning.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
audio over dirt
I
jumps.
didn't have to make a phone call then.
Yeah, got lucky today. I came home.
Good. Keep getting lucky then.
Yep, I'm trying to keep it that way. Trying to huck smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, good. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for taking the time. I know it was just kind of a casual little chit chat, but I wanted to know more about what you guys were doing, and I definitely will be making out to one of your shows. I know you guys are still very new, but
May 20th, we have something coming up.
I saw that you had something in May, but you hadn't announced the day yet, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Where is it going to be at?
It's going to be at the Shredder.
At the Shredder? Okay.
With all the details on Facebook soon enough.
Okay, cool.
Still hammering out details.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, I definitely want to make it out because you're on my radar. I'm gonna use I'll talk to Kat and make sure I'm sure she'll be okay with it, but I'm gonna use some of her photos for the article so I can get her tagged in there too.
All right, cool.
Awesome. Thanks
Nika.
guys.
You're the best.
Hope you guys have a really awesome rest of your day.
Thank you too. Thanks for the interview.
For sure. Bye guys.
Bye.